Welcome back to the deep dive. Big news today from Anthropic. They've just rolled out their next-gen AI, Claude Opus 4 and Claude Sonnet 4.
Yeah, huge announcement. These look like a pretty significant step up.
Definitely. We've got the official details, some benchmarks, and info on access. So our mission really is to break down what makes these models tick and, why you should probably be paying attention.
Absolutely. What jumps out right away is this idea of like hybrid operation modes. They're aiming for both speed and deep thinking in one package.
Yeah.
That's a big deal for LLMs.
Okay, let's start with the flagship, Claude Opus 4. The coding benchmarks look, well, really strong. It hit 72.5% on SWE-bench.
Right.
That's like top-tier performance for real-world software tests, isn't it? And it got 43.2% on terminal bench, too. What does that actually mean for developers?
Well, that SWE bench score, 72.5%, that's telling you it's seriously capable of understanding and generating complex code, the
Yeah.
kind you actually find in big projects. Think fewer bugs, maybe faster dev cycles. And the terminal bench score backs that up, shows it's good with practical command line type developer workflows.
And they're talking about long context memory
Hmm.
with local file access. So it can, remember stuff from files over long tasks.
Exactly. And that's coupled with advanced agent use.
Yeah.
Means it can tackle those really complex multi-step problems.
How does that memory feature change things, practically speaking?
It's potentially game-changing for big tasks. Imagine feeding it an entire code base and it just knows it. It keeps track of it while you're doing a massive refactor. That used to be way harder. For agents, it means they can stay focused longer, solve problems more autonomously.
Makes sense. And it looks like it's aimed at enterprise use research. The pricing kind of reflects that, right? $15 input, 75 output per million tokens.
Yeah, that's premium territory.
And Cursor's already calling it state-of-the-art for complex code understanding, so things like multi-file code generation.
Right. And when dev-focused platforms like Cursor jump on it that fast, it really highlights its potential impact on how professional coding gets done.
Okay, so that's Opus 4. Now, Claude Sonnet 4. Interestingly, it pretty much matches Opus 4 on that SWE-bench coding test, 72.7%.
Yeah, that was a bit of a surprise.
But they're positioning it as more efficient, more steerable. What does steerable actually mean here?
Steerability basically means you get more control over how it responds. It's better at following specific instructions, sticking to a style you want, so it's more predictable, more useful maybe when you need the output to be just right.
Got it. So same coding power, but more control and efficiency. Makes it sound good for startups, maybe education, prototyping. The price is lower too. $3 input, $15 output.
Exactly. It hits that sweet spot of performance and cost effectiveness, which is great for scaling things up.
And GitHub is already putting Sonnet 4 into the next-gen Copilot. That's a pretty big endorsement for everyday coding tasks like debugging and editing.
It really is. It shows that Sonnet 4 is ready for prime time and practical developer tools, offering real help right in the workflow.
So both models share some core innovations. This hybrid mode, you mentioned fast answers and deep thought.
Right?
Better tool use and reasoning, using web search, APIs dynamically, and parallel execution to speed things up.
Yeah, the hybrid mode is cool. Quick answers for simple stuff, but it can switch to a deeper thinking mode for complex problems without you really noticing a lag. And the better tool use, running multiple tools at once. That means they can tackle messier, real-world problems that need info from lots of places.
They also mentioned reduced shortcut behavior, a 65% drop from the last version, and memory upgrades for better recall in a session. Sounds like they're aiming for more reliable reasoning.
Precisely. Reducing shortcuts means it's hopefully actually thinking through the problem, not just finding a statistical trick that looks right. And better memory just makes it more capable for longer conversations or tasks, more dependable AI, essentially.
Okay, so access. People can get these through Claude.ai, the Anthropic API, AWS Bedrock, Google Cloud Vertex AI, but maybe with rate limits at first.
Yeah, that's pretty standard for new model rollouts. Demand is usually high.
Right. And we noticed Llama AI Gateway is offering them too, apparently without those limits, using the names Claude Opus 4 20250512 and Claude Sonnet 4 20250542.
Yeah, platforms like Llama often step in to provide that kind of immediate, unrestricted access. Can be really useful if you need to scale up right away.
So it definitely feels like Anthropic is pushing towards AI that can, really focus, remember things, handle complex stuff more on its own. They're calling them collaborators in the making.
I think it's a good way to put it. These improvements suggest a future where AI isn't just a tool, but more of a partner in complex development and problem solving. Real innovation partners.
Yeah. So clearly, Opus 4 and Sonnet 4 are a big step. Huge potential for software development, tackling tricky problems. Which brings us to a final thought. As these models get woven deeper into how we build software, how does the job of the human programmer change? Are we moving more towards like high-level design and oversight rather than writing every single line?
That's the big question, isn't it? Definitely something to keep an eye on.
For sure. Well, that's all the time we have for this deep dive. Thanks for joining us.